In today's video, I'm going to show you how to lay out a wall 16 on center. 16 on center is the most common method of laying out a wall, especially in residential construction. And the main reason why you do that is so everything breaks out evenly for 4-foot material. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. This channel is all about building your own house and saving a ton of money. So be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video, and like this video so that way it gets promoted on the YouTube algorithm. So let's get started doing this. It's not too complicated, but a lot of people get confused on your initial measurements, so I will show you how it's done properly. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is cut 2 boards. That's going to be the top and bottom plate of your wall you're going to get ready to build. And if you look down here, this is going to be your top plate, this is going to be your bottom plate. Either or, it doesn't matter which one's which, obviously, but just want to identify the one of the two. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is go ahead and line up your top and bottom plate and make sure they're perfectly flush with each other. As you can see here, they're lined up very well. And now go ahead, hook your tape on one or the other boards. It doesn't matter which, or you can even hook right in the center of where they meet. It doesn't matter. In this case, I'm going to go with the top plate. So we go ahead and stretch our tape out across the whole wall and go ahead and lock your tape into place so it doesn't move, and give it a little tug to make sure we're still tight against the wall. Now go back to the beginning of the tape and we're going to look for this red mark. They're usually marked on every tape with a red square. These are your 16-inch marks. So as you can see, 16-inch, you got 32-inch, you got 48-inch. This 48-inch mark is very important. Keep that in mind, and I'll show you why. So if we come back to the beginning, the first thing you want to do is make your first mark. Your instinct is to just come up here, mark your 16 with a mark, and move on, but that's incorrect. That's what you don't do. What you come up here and do is you find your 16-inch mark and come back 3/4 of an inch, make a mark. You can do a little caret like this, or you can just do a little mark like this. Either or, it doesn't matter. As long as you make a mark at 15 1/4. And the reason why is you got 3/4 inch of each side to get 16 on center. So the other edge is going to be right here. And if you measure from here to here, we get 1.5 inches, which is the thickness of a 2x4. If you look at the side of a 2x4 right here, from here to here is 1.5 inches thick. So keep that in mind. So let's go back to our layout. So when you make your 15 1/4 mark, put an X on the actual 16 because that's where your stud's going to sit. And now if you move down the tape, come to your next red mark, and if you don't have a red mark, just remember it's 16-inch intervals. Make another mark, put an X, and that's so on and so forth with every red mark on the tape down the whole wall. So here we're at 48, come back 3/4 inch, make a mark, put an X. So I'm going to just cut to the chase and tell you why you do 16 on center. All building materials such as sheathing and drywall are in 2-foot increments. So sheathing, once you put a stud on each end of the wall, like you would here in every wall, if you pull from here to here, it's going to break right in the center at 48. So when you butt here, your next piece of sheathing is going to join here, and it gives you a place to nail each side. So this comes here, so your stud's going to sit from here to here, and you would have your sheathing that's going to lay and butt right in the center of that mark. And again, for drywall, it comes in 12 and 8-foot sheets. Same song and dance, 2-foot increments. Now you can do 2 foot on center, but this video is about 16 on center. So if it was 2 foot, You just do the same thing, come to your 2 foot marks, they're marked in black, and then you just come back to 3/4, and then so on and so forth. And now, just a word of advice, if you happen to take your tape, some people like to do this. You can come back here at the beginning. So they will tack a nail on their first mark after they get their 15 1/4, and then they just move their tape to it. And if you use this method, what you will notice is instead of holding back 3/4 of an inch, it's 16 right on center. So instead of coming back 3/4 like you would if you're hooked right here at the end of the wall, if you come out on your 15 1/4 mark, then the rest of your marks are just 16-inch marks. So every red number on your tape is going to be your 16 on center. So check that out. And so on and so forth. So the next thing we do is we're going to get a square and make straight lines from board to board using your square. So the best tool I've found to do your layout is using a speed square. These speed squares, they fit right in your pocket. You can get them anywhere. I'll put a link below. I get a little kickback if you do buy it, but I really don't care if you buy it or not. I'm just telling you, you got to get one of these if you're going to be doing some framing. Just recheck to make sure your boards are lined up correctly, and come to all those 16-inch on center marks that you made, and then put your square right on the edge of the other 2x4, and it doesn't matter if it's your top plate or your bottom plate, either way. Let's just use the bottom plate now. So you just line it up with your carrot you made and go ahead and make a mark using your pencil, something you can see very easily. Alright, and then if you put an X on the right side, you transfer the X to the right side on the other piece. There's a barcode in the way there, but you get the point. So move that out of the way, and as you can see, we got your 16 on center there, and go through and make your lines on each one of your carrots or marks that you made there. And it also helps while you're doing this is just to hold it tight, so that way it doesn't shift like this while you're trying to mark it. So go ahead and keep it snug against the 2x4, and then make your mark. Alright, so there you have it. You got your 16 on center layout. So now the rest of it, all you got to do is we'll separate the plates and put your studs into place. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to frame this wall. This is a real life example. So if you look down here, we got our 16-inch on center marks, one after the other. Very simple. So now we're going to go through and lay out this wall and put the studs together. Alright, something I'd like to show you. If you look at the layout, see we come over 4 inches first and put a stud if you're coming into an exterior wall. That way you have a nailer for your wall coming. But this next mark is 15 1/4, just like normal, but I figured I'd show you that in case you were going to do the same thing. Alright, we got all the studs nailed off, 16 on center. So I want to show you the main reason why you do 16 on center. Well, one of the main reasons, because of the sheathing I was telling you about. This stuff's 48 inches wide, so I'm going to lay a sheet over here to show you what it looks like when it's on. Alright, so you see we're on the edge real nice and even. So if you come down here, if you look, we break on that stud really well. So that is why you do 16 on center as part of it, so your material breaks out evenly. So if you look, 4 foot is right in the center. So there you go. Alright guys, if you watched any more of my other videos, like how to build a wall with a window in it, or how to build a wall with a door in it, you'll see me do A to Z, from laying out the wall, building the opening, putting the sheeting on, putting the house wrap on, the whole 9 yards. I just wanted to make a little simplified version of actually how you make a 16 on center layout. Watched a few videos on YouTube and they're alright, but I figured I could do one a little more up close to what actually goes on. But I've been doing layouts like that for years and I haven't had any problems. So that's all I wanted to go over. Be sure to comment below. Let me know if you thought everything was adequate, thought it went over things in enough detail. Anything I can improve on, or anything you want to know or need a video on, I will make it construction related. So I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.